Okay, so in the last class we were discussing direct expenses and indirect expenses. So I was giving you some example that suppose you purchase some goods in your business. So the cost of goods purchased will be your direct expense. The cost of goods purchased will be your direct expense. Now, whatever electricity you are consuming in the processing and production of finished goods in your factory, that is clearly identifiable with the quantity of goods produced due to that consumption of power or fuel in your factory. That's why it is called direct expense. It can be directly associated with the units of goods produced. And same way, whatever transportation cost you are paying for the raw material or for any goods which you are engaged in selling in your business. So when you are purchasing that goods and you are bringing that goods to your godown, so whatever cost you are incurring for transportation, that cost is also directly associable with the quantity of goods. You can determine the per unit cost of that transportation also. So that's why that will be termed as direct expense. So the principle is from the purchase of goods till the time of sale. Till the time of sale, whatever cost you are incurring in the production, processing, or uh, keeping of the goods, that will be termed as direct expense. Then when you are incurring some expenditure on the selling of goods, when you are incurring some expenditure on the selling of goods, for the selling of goods, or for distributing the goods, or for your office or administrative purposes, you are incurring some expenditure, like you are consuming electricity also in your office. So that cannot be covered directly, that cannot be linked directly to the quantity of goods produced. Yeah, just a minute, I am answering. So now, uh, what example I was checking at that time. Now listen the example carefully. Suppose you have purchased a book. So now when you are purchasing a book, whatever expenditure you are incurring on that, whatever expenditure the manufacturer, the publication has incurred in the production of that book, there will be two types of expenses. Obviously, one is direct expense and one is indirect expense. Both of the costs will be recovered from you, from the customer, by the publication. All the costs will be included in the cost of production. But even then, the direct link of the expense and the indirect link of the expense is the point that create difference between the direct and indirect expenses. If we use transport for taking goods for selling, okay, that I am coming on. First, tell me till now what I have told regarding direct expense and indirect expense. Are you clear about that? Is it helping or you need some more elaboration? So any manufacturer will always charge for each and every expense whatever he is incurring. Like I give an example, like advertising. On advertising, I am incurring so much expense. Obviously, due to advertising, my sales will go high, but I cannot define it in numbers exactly. accurately that how much units have I have sold extra due to this advertisement. So it is an expense, but it cannot be linked directly to the quantity of goods produced or processed. That's why it will be indirect expense. Same is the case for transportation. If I am paying transportation charges for purchasing, for bringing them to my godown, that will be called direct expense. But if I am incurring expenditure on transportation for the selling of goods, for distributing the goods, that will be considered as indirect expense. That will be carriage outward. If you remember, carriage inward comes in trading account and carriage outward comes in profit and loss account. That is the reason. Okay. So now I hope you will be able to classify direct and indirect also. Okay. Now see again, the next account is discount on purchase. One of the students have also asked about this. I hope I have explained it also. Discount on purchase. So discount on purchase. First, think over the meaning of it. It is a nominal account, obviously, where you will be writing it. Yes, very good. It is a nominal account, so where you will be writing it. Yes, very good, very good, very good. Yes. So now we have to decide whether I should write. First, decide that it will be your income or it will be your expense. Your answers are correct, but tell me that it will be your income or it will be your expense. If you are not getting its answer, just ask yourself that if I will be purchasing something, whether I will be getting the discount or I will be giving the discount. Then you will be able to answer it. Yes, very good, very good, very good. Obviously, when I am purchasing something, I will be getting the discount. And if I am getting the discount, that will become my income. If I am purchasing a book of rupees 500, so obviously I will not give discount to the seller. Seller will give discount to me. And if the seller is giving discount to me, then it is my income. It is my benefit. It will reduce my cost. Yes. So it is my income and it is a nominal account and it is a part of profit and loss account. It is a part of profit and loss account. Okay. Now, next account is carriage outward. Carriage outward is a nominal account, so where you will be writing it. Those who are not replying, at least they should say something yes or no. to make sure that yes, you are listening something. If you are not clear about, you can at least inform, you can at least reply something else. It is clearly mentioned that it is a nominal account. And if it is a nominal account, where it should be written, what the rule says. Yes, very good, very good, very good. So it is a nominal account and it will be going to trading and profit and loss account. Now, again, I should define it. Carriage outward is a purchase, means I am incurring some expense on purchase or on sales, whether it is a selling expense or producing expense. Yes, it is a selling expense, and all the selling expense will go to profit and loss account. All the selling expense will go to profit and loss account. Yes, drawings. Drawings is a personal account. So where you will be writing it? Yes, very good. Balance sheet. See, personal account it is. So drawings, because it is a personal account, that's why it will go to balance sheet. It will go to balance sheet. Tomorrow also I will tell you some rules. Till now, two types of rules we have discussed. First rule is how to classify the accounts in personal, real, and nominal. Practice it thoroughly. Then second, we have discussed which type of accounts will be written where. That we have learned. Second category of rules. All the real and personal accounts will go to balance sheet, and all the nominal accounts will go to trading and profit and loss account. One more rule you have learned, how to decide that whether this account will go to trading account or whether this account will go to profit and loss account. Because the confusion is that both of the accounts are nominal, and all the nominal accounts will either go to trading or either go to profit and loss. So there should be knowledge that how to classify that this account will go to trading and this account will go to profit and loss. So this we have also learned. Now tomorrow again I will be extending this concept and we will be discussing some more things. Okay. Now bills payable. Bills payable is a personal account. So in which financial statement you will be writing it? Yes, very good, very good, very good. My question is, where you will be writing this bills payable account? It is a personal account. So where you will be writing, in which financial statement you will be writing it? Yes, very good. Obviously, obviously. Yes. Okay. Now debtors and creditor customers. These are all also personal accounts. Yes, very good. Bills payable, I explained few minutes back. The meaning was also written. Let me undo. Let me help. This is the meaning of bills payable. It is not that bills payable that you are thinking that this is a bill and I have not paid its payment. That is not that bill. It is a legal document on which you have given acceptance to your creditor. You are promising to your creditor that I will pay back your amount on such and such particular date. It's a promise and it is signed on a legal document. That document is called bills payable. So this will go to balance sheet. That's why it is a personal account. Yes, debtors. Bills receivable also same. Bills receivable means someone has given acceptance to us that I will pay your amount back on such and such date. So that's why that is an acceptance from our customer. And bills payable means acceptance to given to the supplier, to the creditor. So that will also be a personal account. Yes, debtors and customers, that is a personal account that will go to balance sheet. Yes, very good. Loan from bank. Loan from bank is also a personal account. So where you will be writing it? In which financial statement you will be writing it? Very good, very good, very good, very good. Now I hope this chapter is going in the right direction. Now you will be able to classify properly. However, in the starting I have done this all practice also, but at that time due to slackness, you people have missed all the things. Yeah, obviously you are correct. That will be liability. And in which financial statement you are writing liability? You are correct that bank, if I am taking loan from bank, that will be my liability. So in which financial statement I am showing my liabilities? It is a personal account. If suppose you are taking a loan of rupees 10,000 from A, 20,000 from B, and 30,000 from C, how you will remember without writing their names that I have taken a loan of 10,000 from A to 20,000 from B? You will have to write the name. So when bank account is a personal account, obviously when you are taking loan from bank, you have to write the name of the bank also from which bank you have taken the loan, to whom I need to pay back. So that's why it is a personal account. So it will also go to balance sheet. Okay, investments are real account. Investments are your property. And I hope you all understand the meaning of investments. If someone is not clear about the meaning, let me know that. I will again explain the meaning of investments. Yes, very good. Very good. Very good. Yeah, tell me what doubt is there. Okay. You please try to explain your confusion. Try to explain your doubt. What problem you are facing, then I will try to solve it. Regarding investments only or regarding other topics also? Okay, you don't know proper meaning of investment. Okay, fine. See, investment is what? Okay, when I speak the word investment, what picture comes to your mind? First, you explain yourself. Yes, you also. When I am saying investment, what picture strikes to your mind? What image is created in your mind? Okay, cash. what is happening to the cash which is coming to your mind? Okay, capital, fine. Have you ever heard that from your parents, from your father or mother, that I have invested such and such amount at this property or in this bank or in this business? Yes. So why we are doing that investment? What is the purpose of doing that investment? Obviously. Yeah, very good, very good, very good. Okay, now I will give you some example and then you tell me that whether this is investment or not. I go to a bank and uh, I give them rupees 50,000 to get a fixed deposit. I give them rupees 50,000 to make a fixed deposit of it. So why I am doing that fixed deposit? In short, we call it FD. Why I am making that FD of 50,000? Yeah, we will get interest. We will get some income. And if I purchase a piece of land, why I am purchasing a piece of land? Will I be doing agriculture on that land? I am not a farmer. How I will be doing agriculture over there? I can just purchase the land, but I cannot do farming. I don't know the ABCD of farming. Yeah, building we can build. So what is the purpose of building that? Yeah, building that house or building? In commercial sense, you should talk. In the business sense, if I will create a house, means either for commercial purpose, that is quite okay. So maybe I'm purchasing that piece of land that after a few years the prices will rise and I will sell this piece of land. I will be able to earn some profit. First purpose. Second purpose, I can uh, build up residential accommodations on that piece of land and I will be selling that properties to generate profit. Means whatever assets I am purchasing, that purchasing of asset is called investment. And why it is called investment? Because it will give you some benefit. If I am putting the money in FD, I will be getting the interest. If I am putting the money in shares, I will be getting some dividend. If I am purchasing a piece of land, I will be getting the rent for that land, or I will be able to sell that land at some profit. So it will increase my profit earning capacity. So that's why investments are your assets. Investments are your assets. That is the criteria to identify the things. Okay, now investments is clear. Why it is real account? It is your property. You have purchased a piece of land. You have purchased an FD. You have purchased a machinery. Okay. So now real account will also go to balance sheet. Real accounts will also go to balance sheet. Yes. Now income tax and drawings. These are personal accounts. Income tax is also a personal account. For this purpose that we are doing accounts of sole proprietorship. Yes, that's why it will go to which financial statement? Yes, very good, very good. These are also personal account. So these will also go to balance sheet. Bad debts is a nominal account where you will be showing it. Yes, very good. Very good. Bad debts is a indirect expense, indirect loss. That's why it will go to profit and loss account. It's a nominal account. That's why it will go to profit and loss account. It is a loss due to credit sales. It is a loss linked to the credit sales of goods. Provision for bad debts is also a nominal account. That will also go to profit and loss account. So trading account is also a nominal account. Now trading account itself is a nominal account. That is only for the identification of nature. So it will not be written in any financial statement. It is itself a financial statement. Profit and loss account itself is a financial statement. Balance sheet itself is a financial statement. And trial balance is also a statement. So patents, real account will go to balance sheet. Goodwill, real account will go to balance sheet. This way we have completed this classification of financial statements, classification of accounts, how to identify in which financial statement which account will be written. You can do more practice with the help of your accounts book. And if you feel any difficulty in any point, you can ask me.